Disclaimers in the video description if needed. I was wondering where to go with this, but I knew I had to talk about this. So I'm gonna speak very loosely about the device, but rather more about how it made me feel. Chances are you still clicked on this video expecting a review, so I'll throw a couple of things, for example, the specs on screen right about now. Really, my goal here is to break it down by telling you about my experience. In the box, very simple. You have the device, a USB-C to USB-A cable, a screen protector, a memory card most likely, and depending on the kit that you buy, you may have a carry case as well. Oh, and a lanyard, of course. So let's start with the screen. I like it. It's the perfect balance between nostalgia and modern. It looks great. And this is going to be a very important part of the RG34XX because while yes, we could have an OLED panel if there is one that matches resolution and size, here it's important to also understand what I believe Anbernic's goal was with this release and some others before it, and hopefully more to come as well. But yes, the screen does a great job at conveying that nostalgic experience while giving you a modern experience, something that feels on par with what you'd want in a device these days. It doesn't feel like it's a letdown. There's no light bleed in the corners. Of course, it's not pitch black dark either, but the most important thing is that it gives you an extremely close one-to-one experience that has been brought to modern times to ultimately not have to deal with the hassles that we had to deal with at the time. And the audio is kind of the same thing. Like, you're not going to be blasting a boombox out of your RG34XX, but it sounds good. It feels loyal to the experience that I remember 20-something years ago, but at the same time, it has that volume if you need it, and it has that range to make sure that everything comes across. And there's something I need to address here. There's a wide range of emulators that comes pre-installed as well as ROMs, questionably so, but that is the case. That comes with this device. Take it from me. Delete everything off it except the GBA games. This is meant to play GBA games. At least, maybe Game Boy Color, I get that. But it is so built to play the games that resembles the device that originally were meant to play them. And the one thing that really got me over the bridge when I originally held it for the first time 4 or 5 months ago are the buttons. When I bought the RG35XX SP, I never owned an SP, so maybe it didn't hit the same for me, but I did have a friend that had bought one at the time, and I did get to play on it from time to time, and it just did not feel like my memory. And I know they've changed it since I haven't gotten the newer version, but with the GBA, it shook me. Of course, there are differences. You have an L2, R2, an X and Y that did not exist on the original device, but from the volume knob, the A, B, the D-pad, the select start, it feels like the original, and it's such a quiet handheld. The perfect one to play in the bedroom next to your spouse. In fact, that's what I've been doing most times. I clock in 5-10 minutes before I go to bed, helps me fall asleep. There's something about a screen dimmed in the pitch of night that just, I don't know, makes my eyes tired and my body soon follows. Anyways, that's not the point. The buttons are pretty much membrane across the board, just like they used to make them. Very quiet, serves the purpose. Now, of course, much like hardware, when it comes to inputs, we've gone a long way. So it may not be the best combo compared to what the market offers today, but it's obvious that this is not what they went for. They went for recreating what the original experience was, and boy, if they nailed their goal. You'll have about 5 hours of battery if you play GBA. If you put it on sleep state, it'll work when you pick it back up, but you'll still lose a little bit of battery. So if you know that you never close it and keep it on your night table, you probably want to make a habit of charging it regularly. But I usually don't see the case. The light turns red, just like the original, to let you know that you're close to being out of battery. I use that as a cue to let me know that it's time to plug it. And really, that summarizes the technical aspects of the device. Can you play PSP and PS1 games? You can, but please don't. Just don't. We have, I'm sure, chances are that this is not your first retro handheld if you're watching this video. So keep those, just like Russ said from Retro Gamecore a couple of videos back where he was associating certain devices for certain systems to emulate. Play your GBA on this one and nothing else. Allow yourself to live an experience that is intemporal, an experience that brings you back in time, but in this day and age. Anbernic worked hard, clearly they worked hard on bringing that experience from the past back to today. And quite frankly, I want to thank Nintendo for creating that amazing system many years ago, but also I want to thank Anbernic. They probably shouldn't be thanked in the same sentence, but what can I say? They did that great a job. In fact, if Nintendo did re-release a GBA as they had the NES and SNES a couple of years back, I don't think they could have done much better. That's how good the Anbernic RG34XX is. And also, can we give Anbernic some love for always including a screen protector? To me, it always feels like they're showing me that they're proud of what they made, and so they want me to have the tools to care for it best. And it's such a nice touch that I wish other retro handheld makers would do as well. Plus, it's not always easy to outsource. Anbernic always gives you that form-fitting millimeter precision one to go on your device. Again, this is something that I feel is not being praised enough. I so greatly appreciate Anbernic for pretty much always including one. That's it, guys. That's a very nostalgia dense experience. It's a trip down memory lane. When I think of the RG34XX, when I grab it and play with it, I always keep telling myself that this is why I fell in love with retro handhelds to begin with. I believe this is what retro handhelds should be. There's only so many devices to go around, but lately it feels like it's been a chase of biggest, baddest, strongest components. The RG34XX was not that. Rather, it was focused on offering a very specific, highly focused experience, and that is why it has been my favorite retro handheld of 2024 easily. And even coming into 2025, that's the one I keep going back to. That's the one that carries me into a great night of sleep. That's the one I play with before bed. And if for some reason you don't have one, well, you should get one for yourself, even if you haven't experienced the GBA during its prime, because as we talked about, this is the most true to form throwback in time, and there's something compelling, something that draws you in when playing with this handheld. And so the best place to get one right now is with ToRetro. You can save up to 12% using their current promo. They ship fast. I've had a great experience with them. Thanks for sending me the RG34XX Glacier. And that is it, guys. Do you have an RG34XX? If you don't, will you be getting one? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching and clicking on the video. I'm Clef, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.